Senator Booker, you're recognized.
So I've been in the Senate now over 12 years. I've just never seen a hearing like this on a committee that has a track record for working together. Blue City chaos and tragedy, how the Trump administration is addressing human costs of soft crime policies. Dear God, we continue in this nation to deepen partisan divide and to undermine the truth that we share common cause, common purpose, and even common sense. In a bipartisan way, we have worked year after year to invest in the resources that keep our communities safe. And now I'm sitting in a hearing that somehow wants to pit red against blue as if they're not Republicans and Democrats that live in every county and every state. And all of us want the same thing, which is lower crime in our communities. I may be the person in this committee that has made a decision in my life about 25, 30 years ago to move into a very high crime neighborhood. I have friends that have died by gun violence. Mentees of mine have died by gun violence. And I'm telling you right now, pitting us against each other in this false fight narrative that we don't share that common urgency and can't find common ground. This committee right now is having a hearing that is not about finding common ground and working to find solutions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I love this sentiment right here from Senator Booker, and I wish many more Democrats and Republicans had that sentiment. But, you know, what Senator Booker is about to engage in just completely goes right against what he is saying right now. Keep in mind what he just said. Oh, we're trying to work together. How can we find common ground? We all know that Republicans and Democrats live in every single county in the United States. Keep that in mind for what he's about to say next. So, y'all do me that favor, smash that like button for me, subscribe if you're new around here, share this video anywhere and everywhere you can, and if you could, I would be appreciative if you click the join button, sign up, and become a member. We gotta grow this movement, y'all. It's got to push through because we've got to knock down this narrative from the corporate press, folks. I do these for fun, so let the fun commence.
This committee right now is having a hearing that is not about finding common ground and working to find solutions, but driving a false divide based upon a false pretext that somehow places that vote for one party over another are more dangerous, and that's just not true. The murder rate, this is truth data, the murder rate in states that voted for Donald Trump have actually exceeded the murder rate in the states that voted for Kamala Harris, and every year since from 2000 to 2023. Over the course of this century, the average murder rate in Trump voting states is 50% higher than in Harris voting states. Do we really want to talk about crime in that manner? Since 2000, the top 10 murder rate states have been dominated and reliably places that have voted for Republicans. The red state murder rate was 33% higher than the blue state murder rate in 2021 and 2022. 2022 was the 23rd consecutive year that murder-plagued states that voted for the president in this past election have higher rates. 8 out of 10 states that had the highest murder rate in 2022 voted for. I could go on and on and on. This is not constructive to the work we have to do. Anybody who's had the tragedy of losing people they love don't care about our partisan fights. They care about us finding solutions. And we have done that on this committee before. Donald Trump signed the First Step Act into law. Joe Biden increased COPS grants higher than any other president in the modern era. I am so exhausted by hearings like this that are far more about posturing to our political divide than trying to create common ground. Let me tell you about common ground. I've worked with some of my colleagues across the aisle to do things like surge funding. Last Congress, me and Republican colleagues on this committee introduced legislation that would establish more resources for law enforcement agencies to hire, retain, and train detectives to deal with what is a national problem, which is homicide clearance rates. There are evidence-based strategies that will keep us safer. A hearing about blue states and red states is a fiction that is being driven in this country, that somehow we have this tribalistic fight that is causing our problems. And that's not it. In fact, that is the problem. That we in this country have not understood that we belong to each other, that we share common ground, that we have common values, and that there are strategies that we could be pursuing as opposed to fighting each other. The kind of partisanship that's toxic in this nation is what we saw in the president's first act. To take criminals who beat police officers, criminals who beat them so savagely, people like Brian Sicknick died, and then to pardon those police officers for particularly partisan reasons. That's unjustifiable and something that should bring us all together. The pretext for this hearing is a farce. It's belied by the evidence, it's belied by common sense, and doesn't get this committee back to the work that I've seen done constructively in Congress after Congress, despite who's president and who's in the majority. We in this committee have done the work together to make our country safer. We are seeing crime going down, but that's little satisfaction to people who have seen their families victimized by crime. We have work to do, but this ain't it.
Okay, so that sounded like a nice speech, right? And once again, if he was genuine about that, I would wish upon more Democrats to have that sort of sentiment. But he's not genuine about that, and I can tell you that by one reason alone. Well, first off, that hearing isn't about blue or red states. That's not what it's about. It's about Democrat policy and the soft on crime policy, which is predominantly Democrat policy. Okay, so that's what it's about. And you notice when he started spewing out these statistics, which I'm not going to dispute those statistics because we don't dispute facts around here. There's no need for it, right? When he started spewing out those statistics, you notice he stuck to states, blue states, red states, this and that. Oh, this state, higher crime, higher murder rates for Trump voting states. I wonder why he stuck to just states. I wonder why he didn't go into, I don't know, districts or even cities. Maybe because if you did that, you would find an overwhelming majority of the highest crime, the top 19 cities in the country, right? The biggest 19 cities of the country. With the highest amounts of crime, 19 of the 20 are run by Democrats. That's fascinating. Oh, and you would imagine that one Republican ran city in there would be somewhere mixed in there, right? Yeah, it's 20th. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you go look up the stats. He didn't want to bear that out, did he? But it's a nice sentiment. I wish more Democrats would engage in that sort of sentiment, engage in that sort of rhetoric. Let's come together. Let's work across the aisle. Let's shake hands. Let's discuss these things. Let's put the work in together so we can compromise on these issues. But Democrats don't want to compromise. Senator Booker gives off the air of wanting to compromise, but he doesn't want to compromise either. Otherwise, you would not get these soft on crime policies that we've been seeing all over the damn country. You would not get Irina Zarutska stabbed on a train by a guy that was let out of jail 14 times. Everybody knows this guy should have been locked up. I'm going to play, not now, but I'm going to cover one of the witnesses right here, which I'm saddened to see that Senator Booker did not ask any questions of any of these witnesses in this particular hearing right here, but I'm going to cover this lady's opening statement, which I normally don't do, folks, because those are normally just partisan. I like to get the back and forth, and I like to get, the statements from the politicians, and I like to see them destroy themselves, essentially, with questions, and I like to come in with the logic behind that. But I want to get her statement because it was gut-wrenching, folks. Absolutely gut-wrenching what she went through. Her son was taken out of the game, we'll put it that way, and not a very nice way. It is a tragic story, and soft on crime policies has let this guy out. He was brutally taken out. And the guy, after time served, which was 4 years, he was sentenced to 10 years, essentially, and only had to serve another, I think she said it was 4 or 5 years or something like that before he got out of prison. It's truly insane. You can go off, take somebody out of the game, and do less than 10 years. Brutally, premeditated murder. Do less than 10 years. That's insane to me. How can you get somebody, like, this may be a hot take, you get somebody like George Floyd, right? Took himself out of the game. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to say that with all confidence, folks, because George Floyd is another one of these career criminals that was elevated to martyr. He was a martyr for the left, as a matter of fact. He was their darling. They worshipped upon the altar of George Floyd for an entire summer. $2 billion worth of damage. And they want to say that Republicans are the problem. Are you freaking kidding me? One of our people, a guy that just wants to put his hand out and talk. That's it. He wants to do the same thing Senator Booker is talking about, and he was brutally assassinated for doing so. That's what he gets, I guess. Or so says the left. And they think that, oh, you can yell both sides here. Oh, red states have higher murder rates. And think that we want to put that hand out? No, I'm sorry. You guys, you Democrats, are truly insane if you believe that you can just continually bludgeon conservatives to death and expect us to just get right back up and say, yeah, let's compromise on these issues. No, we're sick and tired of compromise. We're sick and tired of your nonsense, like all logic has lost policies. We're sick and tired of the delusional dream world, parachuted in from another freaking planet garbage that you guys spit out of your mouths. We're tired of everything. We're tired of 74,842,372.2 genders. We're tired of all of it, folks. We're tired of the relentless push for abortion. We're tired of the relentless taking up for these criminal aliens that are not supposed to be here. We're tired of the soft on crime nonsense. We're tired of just about everything that comes from Democrats. And now this Democrat wants to say, my God. Are you freaking kidding me on this? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't buy it for a second. And you shouldn't either, folks. You should not buy any sort of olive branch that the Democrats may be trying to put out right now, because I can almost guarantee you that they don't want it. Just look at the past 10 freaking years. They need a come to Jesus moment, if you will. Oh, but hang on, they don't believe in Jesus. How can we work together with people that don't believe in a moral framework? They don't. They don't believe in God. So where do your morals come from? Oh, they come from conservatives. That's where you get your morals from. Yeah, thanks for robbing our morals, by the way, and then perverting those morals. These people worship Satan, some of them. Right? Not all. It's never all. There are some good-hearted, good, upstanding Democrats out there. The people that vote blue, no matter who, sometimes they're sick. A lot of them are sick and tired of the Democratic Party, but they're not going to vote red for whatever reason. Right? I was watching a Change My Mind, one of these segments where somebody goes to a college campus and debates college kids, essentially, is what was going on. This girl, woman, whatever you want to call her, she's a young lady, basically said that conservatives are by default racist. Like, are you kidding me? Do you not know your history? Are they not teaching these things in college? That the party of the KKK is the Democratic Party. That's where it derives from. And folks, they try to say, oh, there was a party switch. When was that? Like, think about that for a second. Oh, there was a party switch. All of a sudden, Democrats were like, well, we're going to just go Republican. We're just going to name ourselves Republican. And Republicans were like, yeah, we're going to be Democrats now. No, folks. None of that makes any sense. There never was any party switch. The whole reason Democrats make that argument is because they know they are the party of the Jim Crow South. They are the party of the Klan. They are the party of slavery. Think about that for a second. Think about it, right? Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. The first black politician in this country. Guess what he was, by the way? A Republican. He wasn't a Democrat. Democrats absolutely need to come to Jesus moment. We cannot move forward in this country until they realize the folly of some of their policies. Look, I get it. I understand. But your policies aren't working. It's been tried. You guys implemented your policies and they've destroyed your cities. Look at Portland. None of it is working, folks. And it's not going to work. It never will work. It's a pipe dream. The liberal utopia does not exist. It's almost like the communist utopia. Just will never come to fruition, folks. Not until we evolve as a species, at least. We'll put it that way. But I think I've rambled on for long enough. So I want you guys to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Where do you think I stand on this? Do you think I'm in the right here? Do you think that Democrats need to freaking wake up in this country and realize that we're sick and tired of their BS? Their policies just don't work. Come back to the real world. Let me know what you guys think. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new around here. I want you to share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. That's a great way to help this channel expand and grow. But the best way is click that join button, sign up, and become a member. That's all I can say about that, y'all. But I do want to remind everybody out there that God is always with us. And he loves each and every one of you out there. So y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.